Hello everybody, my name's Steve, I'm the British Railroader, and welcome to the Model Railway Room for another update on Brooklyn Park. And this is my 20th update. I've been building Brooklyn Park now for about 10 or 11 months, so not quite a whole year. And I think I've made pretty good progress, at least for me. I'm not the fastest modeler in the world. I tend to do little bits at a time, but I take my time. And it's getting there. You know, the whole thing is ballasted now. We're starting to get some scenery. A lot of the buildings are kind of in. I've got a few bits to do, especially down this end, but we'll have a look at that in a minute. Before I get into the update on the layout, firstly, I'd like to welcome my new subscribers. I now have over 700 subscribers, which means that since the beginning of the year, I've had over 100 people subscribe to the channel, so thank you so much. It does mean a lot to me. I hope you enjoy all of the content that I produce. I've actually got some big names actually subscribing to me now. I mean, big names in model railway terms, but people that I've seen who've written books and have other channels, quite successful channels. So, you know, big welcome to everybody. I'm really pleased that you enjoy the channel enough that you're following along with my journey. Just a reminder that next weekend is the London Festival of Railway Modelling. I will be there on both the Saturday and the Sunday. I am going to try and make sure that I'm there for most of the day on both days. It is quite tiring, I have to say. But that's my aim, is to be there sort of, you know, for most of the show. If you're going and you see me there, please come and say hello. Be lovely to sort of meet some of my viewers. I will have some of my stickers with me. Not many, because I'm running a bit low and I need to get some more made. But I will have some stickers, and you know, first come, first served. If you want one, come and find me and you can have one. Okay, so I think that's all of the news that I've got so far. Yes, I think that's about it. So let's get over to the layout, show you the few things that I want to show you. So this week we're focusing on this end of the layout, and I'm going to start with this. So as you know, I model the New York and Atlantic Railroad, which is the freight operator on Long Island, and it basically runs on the Long Island Railroad's tracks. And I set things in the modern day, but I do love the old Long Island Railroad stuff, and I have been after one of these for a long time. So this is an Atlas HO RS3. It is a older model. Those of you that know the Long Island Railroad will be able to see instantly that whilst it's generally accurate, there are things that are different on Long Island models. So for example, here where you've got the horns back and front on a Long Island model, I can't remember where they are, but they have one set of horns that come off of the cab. It's also missing class lights. So there's a few detailed differences. It's like the front handrails, just there, they're slightly different. But this is just a generic model that Atlas produced a while back. It's a beautiful runner. It is fitted with the DCC chip, I think possibly a Digitrax, and it runs perfectly. I will be converting it to sound at some point once I've got the money for the decoder. It's going to be interesting because just here and just here are two huge weights that take up all of the space that things like speakers and keep alives would normally go in. So I will probably need to take those weights out and find some other way of weighting it, which isn't impossible, but that's a little project for a little bit down the line. As I said, once I've got the money for a decoder. I'm just going to move this out of the way because what I want to show you is over here in what is going to be the scrapyard. So I've done quite a bit of work on this, and the main thing I've done in the last week or so is, if you can see, the hard standing is now quite dirty looking. And if I just move things out of the way a little bit, you can see that we've got various streaks of dirt. You know, it's a lot of rust on there. And basically, beforehand, it was just a plain concrete colour. And I want it to reflect the fact that, that it's going to be quite dirty. I've also, and you can see here in the background, I've also painted and weathered the porter cabins. So these I had built some time ago. They've been sitting there for a while. They're sold over here by Gauge Master. It's actually a Faller kit, so they are HO scale as opposed to 00 scale, which is great because it means they fit correctly or they're the right size. I fitted lights to them on the inside. I think you can just see on the end there, and just here is a floodlight that should light up the yard. It's not wired in yet. I've literally, I've built it. The floodlights are, all the lights are there and they're all wired. They just haven't been connected to any power yet. But that's something that's going to happen a little bit later generally on the layout. I like it. There are some people inside. I didn't go too mad with the interior detailing, but I could always take it apart. I've kind of done it so it will come apart relatively easily if I need to, and I can put some more interior details. Now, if we just go back to the hard standing, I'm going to move my thing over there. Now, obviously, what I need on here is piles of scrap to be loaded into the gondolas. So what I've started working on is one of these. Now, this is built up with different layers of foam core board as the base, which have just been cut, very roughly cut and piled up. And what I've started doing is sticking just bits and pieces to the outside of it. So, for example, here, I had an old, I think it's an old Athen Blomberg truck frame, an old wheel. That's a trash can, an old beer keg, some bits and pieces. And eventually this will all be covered with stuff, which I can then paint that kind of dirty, rusty colour. And that can be one of my piles of scrap ready to be loaded. There's going to be probably about 2, maybe 3 piles eventually over here, and that will be really kind of set off the look of the place. And what I'm going to do as well, as you can see just down here, I've started just making the surrounding ballast and a little bit sort of on the track just a little bit dirty, just to reflect that. And then just next to it, you've got here the programming track, which I put in. And again, this is nowhere near complete when we're talking about it being, roughed up and dirty. There's going to be a lot of plants in here. There's going to be, this is going to look as if it's been really kind of left. I mean, if you go down here to the bumper, which you can't really, oh, there we go. That's better. You can see that this one is a bit more of a rusty colour. If I get right in there. Fortunately, the lighting isn't brilliant today. Whereas the other one is brighter yellow. So I wanted to make it look as if the one on the programming track had really been left just to rot. It's not been kept up or painted or anything like that. So that's where we've got it up to at the moment. Just looking around the layout, I'm just making sure. I don't think there's anything else to update you on. So that's it for this month. Week even. Month? I don't do these monthly. I do them every week. Or at least I try to. Anyway, back to me. Okay, that's it for this update. Thank you for watching. I hope you found it interesting. If you've enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please hit subscribe and click that little bell, which will notify you when new episodes come out. But that's it for now. Next week, as I said, I've got the London Festival of Railway Modelling, and I will be making some videos and hopefully getting them out while I'm there, Wi-Fi dependent. If not, it'll be by the end of the weekend. You should have a few videos to watch. But that's it for this video. My name's Steve. I'm the British Railroader, and I'm saying goodbye to you from my model railway room. Bye-bye.